Tuesday Tarts. This is our 7th in the series about the attributes of God. And tonight we're going to talk about God's attribute of self-existence. And first verse I want to go to is Psalm 50 verse 12. Psalm 50 verse 12. And it says, "If I were hungry, I would not tell thee, for the world is mine and the fullness thereof." So God doesn't need our help. He doesn't need any kind of human help. He exists all on his own. You know, he exists outside of humans. And, you know, he doesn't need anything from us. You know, everything we've got is because of him. But he doesn't need anything to exist outside of himself. And then we're going to go back to Psalm 24, verse 1. "The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein." So God created the world. You know, he put everything in place, and it all belongs to him. Psalm 24 verse 1 is quoted in the New Testament in 1 Corinthians 10:26, and there again it talks about, you know, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and the world and they that dwell therein. So God created, you know, it talks about in the Old Testament and New Testament that he created not only the world and everything around it, but he created us. And next scripture I want to go to is Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 14. It says, "Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Lord's thy God. The earth also, and with all that therein, is his." So even not only the earth is the Lord's, but the heavens and all the universe is all his. He created it, and he's, you know, he was there before the universe ever existed. So, you know, he's bigger than the universe. I know that's hard for me to grasp onto, but, you know, it says it and I believe it. Next we're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 10 through 13. "But the Lord is the true God, he is the living God, and an everlasting King. At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation. Thus shall you say unto them, the gods that have not made the heaven and the earth, even they shall perish from the earth and from under these heavens." So all the idols and stuff that are on this earth, that have been on this earth throughout the centuries, you know, they all perish. They didn't create anything, and they just rot or rust away, or, you know, there's all kinds of idols, not just, you know, little figurines. And then on in verse 12 says, "He hath made the earth by his power, he hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heavens by his discretion. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures." So he's created the heavens, he's created the earth, he creates the weather. You know, he existed before all this, anything we know of existed. And, you know, he causes us to exist. Without him, we wouldn't exist. If he took his hands off of the workings of the world, you know, it would go away very quickly, and us included. And then the last verse I want to look at is Isaiah 40, verse 22. "It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in." So he sits upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants there are as grasshoppers. So, you know, God You know, it says, the other place in Scripture says the earth is his footstool. So we're just like grasshoppers. You know, like a grasshopper that's very small to us. You know, we're even smaller than that in comparison to God. So, you know, don't think that we can do anything for God. He is self-existent. He doesn't need us to exist at all. And I thank y'all for joining me in this study tonight, and I hope it blesses you.